Captain's log, 11th of April 2025. I think it's about 1:30 a.m. thereabouts. Not quite as intoxicated as I was yesterday when I did my video blog. The good doctor has retreated into the bedroom. He's going to sleep. Still painful from his fall yesterday. And I'd like to start talking about some serious topics. English language, I think, is a very serious topic. Because I think it was created by a group of dark magicians. And why I think that is because of the S at the beginning of laughter, making it slaughter. Why would you spell it like that? I don't know. So I was wondering which one came first. So I did a little bit of research. Turns out the real word for laughter is Leator, which is a very beautiful word. The only word in the English language that I think starts with an H and an L. But then they turned it to laughter and then put the S at the beginning. And we're told that language evolves and that once upon a time, perhaps we were like primitive man, cavemen, making I don't know, sounds similar to apes, I suppose, grunts. Folks' sake. And then we have this group of words that are all questions. What, why, when, where, all starting with the WH. Now, there's two of these question words that are separate from the others. How and who, which are anagrams of one another. So whereas all the other question words, starting with the WH or wha pronunciation, who and how, something intriguing about these two words. Everything's done for a reason. Everything in our language. I don't believe there's any silent letters that are for no reason. I mean, like the T in listen is a silent T, but then it makes listen an anagram of silent. So I don't think any silent letters are really for. I don't know. I mean, I suppose we have. Words like psychopathy, starting with a P. But even then, I don't think that's for no reason. Maybe there's a grammatical, that's the right word, like gematria, ascribing number values to letters that might make the P in psychopathy relevant. Don't know, but I don't believe that it's for no reason. There is, however, a silent P in bathwater. No, but serious. On a serious note, like E minor. Our language is very strange. I don't believe there's any other languages out there quite as esoteric, with all the hidden meanings and depth to it. Speaking of depth, it's like when we're born, we begin, and we begin by begging. That's all we can do, begging for a life, right? And we're just dependent, or in the deep end. In the deep end. Just pronunciation change. No, it's spelled different, but not that much. They like to play with our words. Like, so we've all heard of the band Dire Straits. And all you do is take the S from Straits and put it on the end of dire. And then you've got Dire's traits. Which is what? Desperation, perhaps, yeah? Somebody who's a dire, they're going to die. Their traits are going to be quite desperate. Dire straits. And then I suppose you've got to demonstrate, which has got the word demon in it, a demon's trait, perhaps. But maybe our language is there to, in some words, maybe to help us along, help us understand things. Help us understand, with a deeper understanding. But like post-hypnotic suggestion is a powerful thing, and hypnosis works through repetition and association, word association. So if you can include these post-hypnotic suggestions into a song, into a tune, it gets in there even easier, yeah. And sexual partners call each other baby nowadays, don't they? Baby. Oh, baby, 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 you can have my private number. Just don't tell your parents. Get what I'm saying? Why would a baby's an infant, why would we be using this word to describe a sexual partner? Same as the word mate. A little boy or a little girl might go home from school and say to the parents, a little boy might say, I've got a new boyfriend. The little boy is talking about another little boy who is his friend. Obvious, yeah. And the parents say, oh no, that's not a boyfriend, that's just a mate. And mates mate, the act of mating, in the animal kingdom. But the subconscious is such that when you hear these words, you might have a couple of different contexts to it, but the subconscious mind covers all of these different contexts, and then the critical mind will pick out the appropriate meaning for such a word, right? So if I said the word gum, you might think chewing gum, you might think gum tree, you might think the gums that your teeth grow out of. Your subconscious, when you hear the word gum, covers all of these contexts. And then the critical mind then picks out the appropriate one in context. So if I hear the word mate, if I get called a mate, the subconscious mind goes to sex. Because that's the act of mating. And then my critical mind will go, oh no, this is just somebody calling me a friend. Yeah, just a friend. Post-hypnotic suggestions. Running the ships for shore. More interesting words. Can you rest ashore? Can you be rest assured? I'm rest assured. Insurance. If you've got insurance, you can rest assured. Is it spelt assure? It's spelt like I'm sure about something, yeah, but you know, shore is the outside of the sea, right? Where it's safe. You're no longer, you're no longer in deep water. Interesting stuff. Anyway, I thought I was going to get a phone call. I thought I'd make the quick video before I did, but I reckon I'm going to go to bed. Hammock, because that's what I'm sleeping in. Which would be great if there was like an earthquake or something and the house was shaking, because my hammock's like a gimbal, you know, it'll just stay in the same position. So you want a hammock if you want it on a boat, you know, on choppy water, because it's going to remain level whilst the boat is swaying from, yeah, you know what I'm saying. But anyway, back to the language. So, language, linguistics, and ling being a reference to the tongue. You know, like cunnilingus, for example. So cunny or cunt, cunny, lingus, lick. They all come from somewhere, don't they, these words? But if somebody says that something is lingering, I've always thought of it as like maybe a smell, a lingering smell. A smell can linger, right? But what the fuck has that got to do with the tongue? No, words linger. You say harsh words, they linger. Yo. Is my what? Yes, certainly, Doctor. I'm coming up in a couple of minutes. And I'll tuck you in. Read you a bedtime story. No, I won't read it. I ain't got no to read. I'll make one up. But I can assure you that it'll be most exciting. Don't know what sort of story shall I come up with. I think a story about a couple of close friends who are marooned on a renovation project. Over and out, Captain's log.